Thank you for tuning in. This is Infidel Rage, and this is what my cache fobs look like in the insurgency game mode. So we'll begin. So first thing I'm going to do is go into the second building in this compound and set up a radio in it and an ammo crate. In some compounds you only have one building, and that's where the cache is usually located. And when it's like that, I'll do it in the same building. But I'll put the ammo crate outside in the middle of the compound behind some barriers. This is all in attempts to conceal the fob from the enemy while they're attacking you, so they don't get direct shots onto your spawn. This is the cache room doorway I'm looking at to the outside of the compound, and I'm going to set up razor wire wall here, too high, and then I'm going to set up two sets of tire walls that are going to be too high, one inside the small room and one inside the actual cache room. This will make the enemy's life a little bit harder when they're trying to enter the cache room, and make it harder for them to get visual confirmation on the cache itself. So while they're building that, I'm actually setting up a couple other barricades so they can build those too. And I'm going to build a double tire wall here in front of this doorway, and eventually I'll put a ladder to the top. And in front of that blue doorway, this is where I'm going to create my funnel, my razor wire funnel. So we're going to put a tire wall there just to discourage the enemies from getting in easily. Eventually, I will dig down the tire wall to make it look like, oh hey, here's an entrance that we can get into. And it'll just turn into a death trap. So now I'll start placing down the razor wire. The outside of the razor wire is going to be stacked too high, so that way the enemy cannot jump over it. And then against the wall and in between the razor wire wall will be a zigzag pattern of razor wire that will cause the enemy to have to serpentine around it pretty much. Now that I have most my outer wall of my razor wire set up, we're going to wait up for more points to build up. But we're going to start building the defensive wall where my teammates can hide behind while shooting at the enemy that through the razor wire. So we're going to set up a couple tire walls that are only one high, so you can crouch behind it but still shoot over it when you're standing. As you can see, the other doorway now has the double tire wall in place there. So here I go. I'm going to start setting down the zigzagging razor wire. What I should have done instead when doing this part, which I didn't think about it when I made this video, was start zigzagging from the front of the razor wire instead. So I accidentally got one of my teammates killed because they just kept standing on the razor wire and getting hit by it when they were moving through it. So always start from the entrance to the razor wire funnel. So there you can see the guy that accidentally killed himself on the razor wire. As you can see, I'm walking through it. There's gaps between me and the razor wire, but I'm still getting hurt by it. That last part, I did jump on top of it and bumped into the other one. So obviously I'm going to get hurt by it. Here I'm going to build a double tire wall against the wall of the compound, and then I'm going to build one tire wall back from it. So it's like a staircase up out of the base, but also you could stand on top and shoot down over the wall. I tried to place as little amount of ladders on the walls as possible, as that usually just gives key indicators to the enemy that the bases are built up. Hiding tire walls against the walls of the compound like this is a lot less noticeable, I've noticed. So there you go. There's gonna be my stair of tire walls. You can easily jump and crouch on top of the tire wall like that. Okay, here I place a ladder so we can get eyes on over that tire wall. So I'm going to place another tire wall here. Eventually, this tire wall and the tire wall that's next to it are going to be too high and have ladders behind them. That way, you'll have a couple soldiers behind the single tire walls that I'm looking at right now, shooting at them, and then you can have guys standing at the end of the funnel where they would exit and have them shoot over the tire wall that way from the ladders. place this ladder on this wall so we can have a lookout up over the wall on that side of the map. So now we got a couple points we can look up out of the compound from, and just make sure that the enemy's not coming and stuff, you know. But it's still very minimal with in regards to things that the enemy can see from a distance that create anomalies of the compound, natural compound. So now I'm going to take a little thing I learned from playing Project Reality, where people would build roadblock barriers around and on top of the caches in insurgency mode. If you've played Project Reality, you would know what I'm talking about. Sometimes people actually destroy the caches by doing this in Project Reality. So I'm just going to get the right combination of barriers together and stack them too high. Then I will be stacking the window outside of the room with another barrier. This is all done in attempts to stop the enemy from throwing an incendiary grenade easily onto the cache. So, by doing this around the cache though, it makes it obvious that there is a cache there. At this point in time, my base is starting to look more fortified from the outside anyways, so they know that this compound is more than likely the compound with the cache in it, or it's just a fob being built up in the distraction for the enemy. Until they get visual confirmation, they won't know where it is. Oh yeah, I put a third one up there. I forgot about that. I don't think I was able to get a third one on top of that wall though. So I ignored that after a couple tries. See, it just disappears once it gets high enough. Even looking up, it just disappeared. Like I said before, I'm building this inner wall too high again, so it'll be too thick and too high. The problem though with this round that I had was that a cache actually spawned inside that little outer room on the same cache. And sometimes you'll run into that problem. So what I should have done instead is built these double tire walls against the outer door and have razor wire around that, just so they wouldn't have been able to throw an incendiary grenade through the razor wire doorway onto the cache. it also, I'm pretty sure, made them think for a little while at least that they destroyed the cash that was here because they stopped coming for a little while. They and then they just the other problem I had was that they actually built a fob outside of the compound nearby in another compound that was within range that they were able to set up ladders on the outside of our compound to look over. So as you can see, you can actually get a guy on top of these tire walls and lay prone on there to be able to attack the enemy if you want. Still haven't finished building up the outside or blocking that window because some of my builders left me. They went to other caches. I was only stuck with my friends who were helping me. As you can see on the map, there's only 3 green dots in my area, plus the one that's probably under my dot. In pub matches, it's usually hard to convince people to stay on the fob, defending the fob, building up the fob / cache. As you can see, we're taking shots from the hilltop to the east. So we need to get these tire walls up higher so we have something to hide behind to cover us from the east. So skip a little bit of time. As you can see, we're finally building up that other tire wall. I'm going to stack my second tire wall on top of that. Almost got killed by a grenade right there. It kind of looked like a friendly grenade. I'm not sure though. Could have just been how fast it was traveling that made it look like that. Now I'm going to place some ladders on these 2 tire walls. They don't get built right away either, because some of my teammates don't know what the building objects look like. As you can see, sometimes the objects you want to place collide with other objects and they'll cancel out, so you gotta keep going into the menu. If you play a lot of squad, you probably know this. So instead of this guy just using these wooden crates as kind of cover, more concealment, I'm going to actually place some literal cover for him to stand behind and for bullets to be stopped by. Another good thing about building barriers like that inside the compounds is when enemies go to throw grenades over the wall, sometimes they'll land in front of the barrier and you can be behind the barrier and the grenade will go off. But as long as you're behind the barrier, you'll be protected from it. So here I finally get my friend to build up the last barricade on the cache window so that no thermite grenades will get through it. As you can see, I ran through there so I could undig this tire wall and encourage the enemies to come through this entrance. And then I'm going to dig up the razor wire that my team forgot to build. Well, more like refused to build because they didn't want to get injured by the razor wire funnel. But I am willing to risk that because it doesn't hurt you that much, and if you're real quick about it, you can get healed easily by a medic. So instead of giving them this big gap to work with, this forces them right down into this next razor wire, along the outside razor wire, and through the funnel. So I just jump over a couple of them, still getting hurt by the razor wire as I run through it. But obviously I got my teammate here to heal me up. So now, since nobody dug up this ladder, I'm actually going to do it. Sometimes when you're a squad leader and nobody wants to do the things that you need done, then you just have to take it on yourself and do it yourself. So here is my razor wire funnel put into effect. You're able to shoot around the barriers, able to climb up. The soldiers coming through the smoke, and they can barely get eyes on you. That is my insurgency cache fob. If you like this video, please leave a comment, leave a like or a dislike. Let me know what you think. If you guys enjoyed it, I will be making future videos with some strats that I have. If not, well, sucks to be you. Alright, have a good day.